Okay, now having said that, I'm not saying that I'm against the little occasional philosophical contest done in the battle mode, but it's just for fun. It's just a way of, you know, sharing these things. You find, hey, I have an opinion and you have an opinion. And I have a line of reasoning that I think leads to my opinion, and you have a line of reasoning that you think leads to yours. There's a lot of games you could play with, starting off with little game pieces like that, right? Like maybe you believe the same thing but for different reasons. Gary being an argumentative sort, he likes to do all the permutations. It's probably why we get along a little bit sometimes in a certain way. Because, you know, it's like Gary and I, we agree on IRV, we still we can still argue. We can still have a little contest about why it's a good idea. Right? So you can agree on a conclusion and still put in your reasoning into contest. Obviously, it's more common to disagree on the conclusion and to disagree on the reasoning leading to the conclusion. So that's a little too disparate. Probably a little more interesting conversation to have is two people that agree on the kind of reasoning and somehow are still reaching different conclusions. And that's interesting because both sides of that should consider it. They need to find out where the reasoning isn't really the same, or where the input isn't the same. If they both have the same input and reasoning, then they should be getting to the same conclusion. So then they might know, hey, I think I agree with this guy fully, but we disagree on this little thing, so it's worth investigating for personal reasons to get the handle on how you yourself feel, because as I repeat, it is not automatic. You do not know how you feel. I do not believe you probably know well as you could how you feel. And once you do know as well as you could still, you know it better. In principle. So the philosophical contests are okay. And when people say, oh, you're here for this or that, or to win these things and be right, I mean, I cop to a certain grain of truth to that because it is a part of it. And it's like, even if someone runs up to you and picks a fight, a street fight, they run up and they say, "Oni pony!" And to them, that means that's the declaration of a street fight. And they're street fighters, and they try to kick your ass, and you kick their ass, and you become the champion street fighter of all time. But you are like, I'm not a street fighter. I wish these fuckers would stop running up to me. It's just, I'm defending myself. I'm really just standing there to have a discussion with them. They run up and attack me. That's more what it's like. But I'm not gonna like be some sort of a purist, because I'm not against the whole idea of having some, you know, some philosophical games for fun, you know? Just like you have sports and stuff. I mean, your real health is, you know, it's not exactly one-to-one with sport, but it's related to health and exercise, and you turn health and exercise into a game that it's productive. It could be misleading. We know all the problems with sports culture that could develop. There's all kinds of things, fine. We also know there's a good side, and it's a healthy side. I mean, literally, it gets people to exercise. And what I'm saying is it's the same with philosophy here. I mean, there's some unhealthy aspects to the whole, to the whole idea of attacking people philosophically. It's the problem that we see with the people that are just interested in pwning, right? But we see, you know, a threat of a similar thing, like in the conversation with me and Daiwada Man. People could interpret that as us trying to pwn each other. I don't think so. If I thought so, I would stop talking to Daiwada Man. I think he wants to show his reasoning up against my reasoning. He wants to show the facts, and I consider that all quite legitimate. It doesn't matter how wrong you are, assuming you're listening to other people's facts and you're doing the interchange, and we're comparing things as fairly as possible. And not perfectly, fairly. I don't want to have to be perfectly fair. That's not a constraint I could probably operate in, because since nobody could. But, you know, trying to be fair, trying to listen. I mean, I look twice at stuff I think is bullshit. I expect you to look twice at stuff you think is bullshit. And maybe 3 and 4 times. You know, I expect a common standard. If you say, hey, a dude deserves this break, then the other dude deserves that break. you know, yada yada deserves the benefit of the doubt. Well, then the dead victim in that case deserves the benefit of the doubt. You know, if you're going to be just trying to be fair, the interpretation of what's perfectly fair is still going to differ. I expect that. I can live with that. That's okay. They're building a big building in the jungle, and it's awesome looking. Yeah. Wow, I can't wait till that opens. That's cool. I hope they put a cafeteria or something. I mean, not a cafeteria. Well, a food court. I mean, sweet. Okay. So, enough of that, right? Because since I pretty much, you know, I've made my case, you all know I'm right now, right? Because I'm going to prove to you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, so that the simpering deniers and witchcraft hunters and poltergeists will yield to the superior knowledge of my, ooh, look, they put up a big statue. I'm getting all excited around here. Shit's going on, man. Okay, bye.